Hello, you guys. I'm sorry about the slight delay. Um, I had to prep my coffee before before we actually start my favorite show, as you may know, which is as you can see, the guidance show. What is that we need to know as of this moment? And before we start, I'd like to thank to Karen for the super chat. 3 times 333, one for me, one for Pisces Moonbeam, and one for herself. And also to Taco, thank you so much for 1111 US dollars, which you do have an inquiry of, and I'm gonna okay. So it's about an email. Um, So should you send the email or not is basically your inquiry. We're gonna check that one out. Taco, make sure that you all stick around up until the end. Me, of course, I'm gonna stick around up until the end. Pisces Moonbeam and as well Karen. Also, TS, welcome to the stream, and Seda, welcome to the stream, guys. Should I send a mail or revisit it? There we go. It's listed. Thank you, Taco. Oops. All right, guys. So hi, Vero. So back to the topic. As you have probably observed, or rather, like if you have paid attention to the thumbnail. By the way, I do have a new tarot deck. Should you be interested into purchasing that tarot deck, it's really beautiful one, and it's called Tarot Mucha, and it kind of like its logo is like the back of this card, right? That's the back of the card. So if you have paid attention to the thumbnail, there is the collective guidance for all of us, for the world in general. And the first card of the collective guidance, that is going to be the Aeon. The second card of it, it's the Nine of Cups. It's the Nine of Cups. And the final one, that is the Five of Swords. That is the Five of Swords. So we do have these three cards. And the message is pretty clear. Okay, the message or the guidance for the world, for all of us, it is that we gotta do what we have to regardless the cost. That is what the cards are telling to us. And when they are referring regardless to the cost, they mean that it's not going to be pretty, it's not going to be pleasant, it's going to be a dirty work, but someone has to do it. So it seems that in the next few days or maybe weeks as well, all of us, we will have to pretty much attend to the things and to the enterprises, to the endeavors which we so much try to avoid, because the time for them, it's pretty much nigh, and we can't avoid it anymore. Rather, like, we can't avoid it if we want to have or accomplish a progress, breakthrough, because that's what really is coming down to, as we do have the judgment on the very first position. That card pretty much speaks that we will grow to understand that some things are as they are and they are unavoidable, right? For example, going for a bigger paycheck, you just have to deal with one thing or another, or with that person. You may want to avoid it, but if you do want a bigger paycheck, you gotta deal with it, okay? Now that I think of, people always move in pairs. What I mean, or at least this is my experience, every time I like a girl, that girl has a girlfriend with her, or a friend that hates me. And so I'm finding myself in a situation where I have to please first the girl I don't like, so she likes me, so kind of like I become more favorable for the girl I like. You know, and that is something you cannot go about. It's always there. Well, that's just based on my experience, okay? And so the sooner we admit these situations, there are things that we cannot go around. We have to just, you know, dive into it, plunge our hands into the dirt and pretty much do what it needs to be done. There will be no breakthrough. That's pretty much the guidance. And like I said, for what it seems from these cards, it ain't gonna be pleasant at all. Mattia, thank you so much for your $9.99. Thank you, Mattia. You do wish Lenormand draw, so Lenormand is going to be. All right, so with that said, this pretty much concludes the collective reading. Actually, a few things I want to say before I move forward. As a not as a guidance, but as a warning here, it will be quite important not to overestimate ourselves and especially our reach. Very important is as well that we do recognize authorities and we don't cross any boundaries nor any lines as well. It will be very important to be subtle about how and where we placed our trust. With those cards, it's very likely that we will grow to see there are people we thought we can trust, but we cannot anymore. It's just we see that they are point blank betraying our trust right there on spot. With these cards, we are going to see people abusing their power. Not on us, but we may become a collateral. So it's very important to avoid that as well. And also, it's very important to answer that question. Is it really worth it? Because for some, it will, and they will have to, like I said, plunge their hands into the dirt. For others, not that much. So that is the most important question we all have to answer. Is it really worth it? All right, so now I'm going to move to the 12 star signs. But before I do so, just a few words of how the show is going to move forward. So within this live stream, I'm going to read for each star sign. This is going to be an Elemental Dignities reading, meaning that these three cards, they read as one. They carry on a one message. This isn't a string reading like card by a card reading. Also, if you do wish a personal reading with me, you can go to my website, which you will see down below in the description. And there at my website, at the very front page, you can see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. So based on your budget and as well your needs, you can go for whichever one pretty much suits you best, guys. And also, anyone who supports the channel through super chats is gonna get their reading at the end of the stream regardless. Should there be no inquiries, such as a question or specific request for a Lenormand card draw, the reading is going to be just for what you personally need to know as of this moment, and is going to be a tarot card draw. Additionally, there is going to be 3 free readings that I'm going to give away to 3 people of you, and that is going to happen. One is going to be given away after Cancer is done, after the reading of Cancer is done. The other one is going to be performed after the reading of Scorpio, and the final one is going to happen after Pisces is read for. And with that said, let me shuffle the cards and let's see what Aries is going to have at their hands. So, Seda, you're one of these people who love to be in the midst of drama. Is that what you're saying? All right, so for Aries, the first card, that is going to be the 8 of Wands, followed by the second card of the Hangman. And the third card for Aries, this is going to be the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. So it's a clear indication from these cards, Aries, that the time for actions, it pretty much came. And how can I put it into words? Now there is no incentive whatsoever to hope that things are going to miraculously happen on their own accord. Just give me 1 second here to start. Where is that thing? Hold on a second. All right. All right. So there is no incentive whatsoever to hope that things are going to miraculously work out on their own accord. And if you do want to change into scenery, say into your career, you got to seek it for yourself. But the time is very favorable for you to do so. Bottom line is, what you do need to know, guys, it is that a stir is coming. Whether into your career or whether into your love life, definitely is going to be an emotional stir, right? The emotions you had, which were a balanced and which were a, how can I put it, in equilibrium, now something is gonna tip them in one way or another, and that's something, it's gonna be kind of like openings, like opportunities, small opportunities coming here and there that you can take advantage of. And these openings, so to speak, these small enterprises, they're going to make you feel excited, but emotionally unstable. And when I say emotionally unstable, I mean that you're going to feel something. Okay, you may feel, like I said, some kind of pleasant emotions. On the next, in 1 hour from that point, you may feel a bit sad. And so it's going to be ups and downs emotionally. That doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad experience. On the contrary, I think that this exactly is going to make you revitalize yourself, seeking the thrill of the hunt, so to speak, hunting for a new experiences into your career, and as well into your love life. One thing is important to be aware of, though, it is that although these opportunities are going to be many of them, all right, there is going to be a wide spectrum of even there are going to be times where you will have 3, 4, even 5 to choose from. Okay, it's very important to face them with a clear-headed mind rather than emotionally, because not all of them are going to be meant for you. This isn't something you can go unscathed from, all right? And that's why you got to be very objective what kind of an opportunity you can throw yourself into and actually prevail or become successful, you know, or come on top, so to speak. Because if you throw yourself into the inappropriate one, there is a chance of you losing something. And this is where it comes from the collective. Is it really worth it or not? While in your case, Aries, it is which one is worth it and which one isn't. So just to wrap this one around, guys, if you have no attachments right now, like for example, you are unemployed, or for example, you are single, or for example, you don't have any friends around you, it's a fantastic time for you to go out, display yourself, and the options for you are going to start dropping down. It all falls to that. Are you aware, or rather, like, do you have that mental clarity to choose not the right option, that's not the word, but to choose the applicable, the winner from those options. Yeah, Veronica, thank you so much for your 20 Canadian US dollars. Thank you. Yeah, it's a Lenormand reading that you want, so just give me a second to put you in the list, and you will have your draw at the end of the live stream. All right, so that was the Aries read, guys. Moving on, next we do have Taurus. Hey, Charlie. So first one for Taurus, this is going to be the 5 of Wands, followed by, that's the Devil, is the Devil. Moving on, next is going to be the Two of Pentacles. Those 3 cards. On a second, guys. All right, so Taurus is also going to be quite dynamic, quite dynamic period of time. But the difference with Aries is that with Taurus is going to be a bit more volatile. Volatile in a sense of that, while Aries will have the luxury to choose what they are to involve themselves into, Taurus won't. And it's just in Taurus's day-to-day routine in the next few days, there is gonna be constant ups and downs, not ups and downs, sorry, turnarounds. Okay, so there are gonna be constant turnarounds, surprising events here and there, and those events are going to be quite a neutral by nature. Okay, so when they happen, they're going to be neither good nor a bad. It all comes to that what you make of them. And here it's where the difficulty of the elemental dignities falls. You do have a double active neutrals, okay, which means that you do have a lot of room to play around. With. You will have a lot of not resources but ways to go about those surprising events, right? Those turnarounds, so to speak. And of course, you can either make mistakes or you can get things right. And the thing is that in the next few days, it will be always the extreme. What I mean, either nothing literally is going to happen, or everything is going to be on a high speed, or rather like on a double time. So there will be a lot of choices that you gotta go about. Okay, there will be the choice: do you want to? How can I put it into words? How much? Oh my God, there is going to be a scale. I don't know how to put it into words. So you will have something happening, and then you will have the scale to choose how much what is happening you want to be the way you want it to happen. Oh my God, it's so difficult to describe it. That is quite of a difficult read here. So let me give you that example. Out of nowhere, someone asks you out on a date, okay? And so going out on a date, you get to, through your actions, you get to manipulate the date to more or less of a date that you so much yearning for. You can make it entirely as such, or you can honor the wishes of the one that you are in a date with. Okay, so from one side you will have the full power to alter the circumstances, all right, and to even force a circumstances. On another side, you will have to pay the price to that one way or another, and that's why the things are going to be very volatile. It will be high risk, high rewards, so to speak, a move forward. And the room that you are going to have to play around stuff and to go about things, either within your career or either within your relationship, it's also kind of like a skating in a thin ice there that comes from this elemental dignity. Hold on a second. From this elemental dignity, and it only shows that things can get out of hand pretty quickly, okay, if you do not kind of like keep them under control. Like you do have some kind of a you need to have some kind of a very strict to-go list when it comes to going forward with an enterprise. Otherwise, like I said, things are going to quickly escalate and go out of hand, and to a point where you wouldn't have much control over them anymore. Okay, so you gotta be very, very careful, Taurus, in the next few days to a week here by the look of these cards. But one thing which I love about this elemental dignity, it is that you can definitely use these ups and downs, these surprising events, right, these turnarounds, to turn around a failing situation. Like, for example, if your marriage is on the rock and the surprising event is happening there, that surprising event actually can reverse the situation. It can turn it around. If your career is DOA, all right, and that surprising event is happening within your career, then you can use that event to kind of like turn your career around, and so on and so forth. But again, you got to be very careful how you do it, because you can make the things worse. All right, so next one, that is going to be Gemini. Hey, Angela. Welcome to the channel. And good evening. All right, so for Gemini, the first one, that is going to be the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Queen of Swords. And the next one, that is going to be the Lovers. Those three cards. All right, so for what those cards are showing here is that you are either approaching your situation in the wrong way, or you are making a wrong choice, or you are about to make a wrong choice, or about to approach a situation in the wrong way. That is just not just only said, it's literally shrilled from these cards. And those two elemental dignities that we do have, they both are a passive enemies, and they both are saying that and that does depend on what your view is on your life. All right, whatever you think it's not worth it, then it is worth it, or a vice versa. Whatever you think that it may not work out, it's gonna work out, and vice versa. If you think that it's gonna work out, then it's not gonna work out. The thing is that with that elemental dignity, especially with that elemental dignity, okay, that we do have over here, the way you set yourself up, it's out of harmony, and it makes more trouble than actually solves any problems. So what you need to do in order to reverse the whole thing around, well, it's pretty simple, guys. Actually, you can do two things. One is change your choices. For example, if up until this point you are doing everything that you have to, well, maybe it's time for you to start doing everything that you need to. Okay, so these are two different things. Or rather, like, start doing everything that you want to. Okay, or if you are doing everything that you want to by that point and things aren't going very well, then maybe it's time for you to start doing what you have to do. Okay, and that's one thing that you can do, and the other comes from that elemental dignity here. And it kind of screams that it's time for you to seek professional help. If you have troubles with the law because you're doing what you want to but not what you have to, well, maybe it's time for you to hire a lawyer. All right, or if you do have a health issues because you eat what you want, not what you have to, well, maybe it's time for you to check in a medical doctor. Okay, or if you do have problems with your how can I put it into words, with your state of mind, because you are doing what you have to do, working all the time, right, and you don't feel any joy from life anymore, or maybe it's time to check on a psychiatrist if you don't have the strength to reverse the sequence of decision making. But yeah, it's a very simple for Gemini. According to these cards, your lack of harmony, whether in your career or whether in your love life, it is because you're doing, or rather like you're choosing in favor of the opposite that is going to bring the harmony. So if you cannot change it by yourself, you should seek for a professional help, because a professional help pretty much is going to solve your problem for you. Thank you, Karen. So I'm sorry, guys. Pisces, Gemini. I'm sorry I had to deliver such a news to you, but it is what it is. All right, next one, that is going to be Cancer. And the sun is going into Cancer soon, isn't it? Let me check on that. I believe it's next week, 21st. Right now we are in 4 days from now. The sun is going into Cancer. All right, for a Cancer, we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Seven of Wands, and the final one, that is going to be the King of Wands. Those three cards. Jessica, thank you so much for your $13.99. Thank you, Jessica. Do you wish a tarot draw, or you may wish Lenormand draw? I don't know. Let me know what you wish. If you don't say anything, it's just gonna be a tarot draw. All right, give me a moment here. You don't know. All right, let me help you. Do you want guidance or you want fortune telling? Which one you do prefer? Oh, I know the answer from these cards. It's just I can't translate it very well. Fortune telling. All right, so it's a Lenormand draw. Hold on a second. So the thing about these cards is that they show that with your actions, with your recent actions, you have signed up for a pattern, which is not entirely your pattern. So bottom line here is that prepare to be a bit, the word is not disappointed, unsatisfied. All right, to be a bit unsatisfied from what you are made to do. So to me, that speaks primarily for a career, because I can't imagine how someone can make you do anything if it's not paying you, right? Or maybe you have an obligation. because I don't have any obligation to anybody. That's why I'm saying that. But in any case, okay, it's just you are not going to be very satisfied of what you are made to do. And before you actually, for what those cards are showing here, you may had some plans before you signed up for that pattern. So like I'm saying here, to me speaks about career pattern, but as a general reading, it could also refer to your love pattern as well. But you had plans. Well, guess what? Those plans are going to be delayed. How much? I can't really say. But the thing it is that you had your ambition, which is a great thing. You know, everybody has their ambition, but unfortunately it gets tangled with a different ambition that it is stronger within the pattern. And so first that other ambition needs to fulfill before your ambition actually starts taking in. And also there is a, how can I put it into words, there is a chance you can do some things wrong, or rather like you can perform in the wrong way, which is not going to be a big deal, but just saying it comes from these two cards, right? From these two cards, where you may do the wrong thing at the right time, at the right place, or to do the right thing at the wrong time and the wrong place. It's just, you know, right thing, right time, right place. You pick two of them until you kind of like get the hang of it. And it comes from, like I said, these couple of cards. And they show that whatever you signed up for, whether a friendship, relationship, or a job, or a project, whatever it is, right? You don't know the whole thing. Even I bet you don't know the half of it yet, but you are gonna get there. It's just right now you don't have that eye for the subtlety, or you for the subtleties. You have it, but it is not as keen as it needs to be. And finally, what I'm going to say about you, Cancer, it is that within the next few days or couple of weeks, you may not experience the usual joy you may be experiencing when you socialize and when you are in generally trying to enjoy life the way you were enjoying it up until this point. Like, for example, if you like to go out on a beverage with a bunch of friends, you can still do it. It is just, it's not going to be as pleasant as before, probably because, you know, you will have some worries at your hands how to fit within the pattern. And that's is going to conclude the first four star signs. And now we are entering in a break, and one of you guys is going to get a free reading now within the break. All you got to do is just input a question into the comments down below, and in about 5 minutes I'm going to pick one of your questions, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. So someone said that I am a scam. Why? I need to check on this one. Oh, I get it. Yeah, well, actually it was some sort of a compliment. So the person said, oh, I thought I paid for you, but it was someone else, but they were very accurate for a scam. All right, so it's kind of like a compliment to the scam itself. Yeah. Well, if you have paid through PayPal, through that's why I am if you went through my website, you will have a receipt. It's not going to be just um, a, a random link, all right? The random links are only, or rather like they're not random, but a PayPal me links are only for a sales. And they are active. They are always active, but the sale is active for about couple of days. So yeah, I mean that you will have your receipt, and if you don't get your reading without receipt, you can demand your money back and everything. I mean, you're not gonna get burned. I even have a few people that purchased about a year and a half ago. I never heard of them, but I have them on my list here. I have their receipt, and I'm waiting for them to come and claim their reading if they ever do. But I'm still waiting. I've sent an email, everything that I could do to get in contact with them, nothing. Two for one, yeah. Oh no, 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 Jessica. I mean the viewer probably felt, because I had a few times people were impersonating me. In fact, one imposter made it so well that they went impersonating me for about 6 or 7 months. Okay, so I'm not gonna be surprised if someone got tricked to pay to someone else for a reading with me while I wasn't. And Pisces Moonbeam, I remember, was impersonated one via WhatsApp. So and that's another thing. If someone with my name contacts you via Viber or a WhatsApp, that's not me. All right, I do not operate into these social medias. Only via Facebook and via Skype, but Skype is only for the sessions themselves. I do not correspond through Skype, just for a chatting, okay, or setuping a session. Setuping sessions only via email. Well, that's a really nice question, Jessica. Such questions cannot be answered. They are equivalent for like what for a question like what is gonna be what are gonna be the numbers from the lottery. Okay, those questions, it's way beyond the limits of a fortune telling tools. No, no, I can't tell you who that one is. Tarot doesn't give names. Okay, so I cannot tell you who that one is. So, uh question. Will my sister do good work for me? Chandra asks. Let's check it out, Chandra. according to these cards, no, really. Thing it is that your sister is gonna have her way of doing the work, or of what needs to happen at the end, which is not gonna be your way. And when I say it's not gonna be your way, it's not gonna be even remotely close. And so what's for according to these cards, what happens it is that every time you check her work, you will have criticism. She's not going to handle that criticism very well, which is going to lead to arguments in between each other. Neither one of you is going to come on top, and you are going to waste more time arguing of how the things has to be done rather than the thing to be done. And at the end, for what those cards are showing, Chandra, you will not going to be very pleased with the performance and with the manifestation of your sister's efforts. I'm not saying that she's gonna do the bad job. I'm saying that it's not gonna be the job you need. Okay, so there is a difference. You know, Pisces Moonbeam, that's a dangerous thing to say. It is because there is a Russian method of a fortune telling. It's not really fortune telling. It's a very interesting one, but because I don't speak Russian, I can't learn it, but I want to learn it. It's called the Matrix of Life. It basically combines numerology and tarot, and it makes that complex, kind of like a system. And that system tells you your chakras, tells you your regressions. It gives you a lot of information, and based on that system, my sibling killed me in my past life. So I don't know how you take that, but it's a dangerous thing to say, because you know I'm Scorpio. I mean, Charlie, no, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. For a couple of minutes, guys, and I'm moving to the next 4 star signs. See, she confirms as well. Well, one of the reasons, she cares way too much. I don't. I mean, for mundane stuff. So that's one of the reasons why. I agree, by the way. But yeah, we are night and day as well in the way how we conduct our readings. because we all have our style, okay? And I can't say that mine are better than hers. Well, our lifestyle, or like our style of serving things. They all got mad. Charlie, what are you doing to them, man? What chatter, Rob? All right, so Leo, first one for you guys, a 7 of Cups, followed by next one. It is the Queen of Wands. We're at Leo, Rob, or Leo, Leo. Queen of Wands, and the next one, that is going to be the Knight of Wands. These 3 cards for Leo, and things for you guys are going to become way more tangible, okay? In a sense of that, in the next from now even through the next few days, you will not have to worry if something is possible or not, whether we are talking about your career or we're talking about your relationship. You will have a pretty clear sight what can be accomplished and what cannot be accomplished. And hey, at the end of the day, at least you ain't gonna waste any time, you know, trying things around, but you will have, like I said, a pretty good idea what ambition of yours can become tangible and what cannot. And so that is gonna pretty much allow you to have a bit more time for yourself than usual, a bit more time to take care for your personal needs, like I don't know, like working out, or just a personal time. I don't know how to put it into words. Now, the other part of your day-to-day routine is going to be very interesting. That is because you will narrow down, or you should at least narrow down your options available to those which you find interesting and which are tangible. And once that happens, once you set a drive, there is no stopping you, whether within your career or whether within your relationship. That is very important here, that you have to narrow down to the tangible options available, because otherwise well, I will say that way, if you screw up with that, there is no going back from it. I mean, if you choose the fallacy over the one that can be accomplished, okay, you lose the option to accomplish something. You cannot take it back. So that's one time offer, whether you take it or whether you leave it. So what you can expect in the next few days here, for what we can see of those cards, to have a pretty clear sight on how things are working out within your career and within your personal life, and then pick points the way how you are going to go about it. And also you will have a pretty clear sight of what you can do with it. So it's very important that you do stay true to that sight. It's very important that you do not stray from your astute sense of reality. and the will to prevail as well, because that will to prevail is going to lead you in the tangible direction, right, into the daydreamy direction, or how can I put it into words, fallacious direction. And one thing I wanna tell on top of that, next few days, what do you need to know? It is that your presence is going to attract big time. And if you want to attract friends, romantic potentials, business partners, investors, it's a perfect time. All you got to do is just display yourself or display your ambition, and people will find it very, 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 very appealing, because within your ambition, the way you are going to display either yourself or your ambition, there is going to be always something someone else needs, and they will want it, and they will strive for it, and they will come to you. And that's as much as I'm going to say. All right, so that was for Leo. Now moving next, we do have Virgo. Well, what for Pisces moonbeam? All right, so one for Charlie. Thank you, Karen, for another 333 US dollars. Virgo, ooh, first one, that is going to be the Star card, followed by the Hierophant, and the final one, next one, that is going to be the Six of Cups. Hey, Ginger, I hope you kill it in this meeting, whatever the meeting is about. Okay, I hope you kill it and you get what you went for. And hello from all of us. So back to the Virgo reading. Well, you will definitely tap into what you are doing wrong. You're definitely going to tap into that. Now I can talk for about many things what that could be, okay? But for according to these cards, there is a repetition that you are doing, Virgo, which is causing some kind of an issues, which is causing, I cannot even tell them an issue. It's causing a turmoil, whether within your career or whether within your love life. And what you need to know is that you are going to find out what that repetition pretty much is. And when I say repetition, that is kind of like a way of how you're doing stuff. That is no different than always falling for the strong rather than the smart guy, or the mean rather than the cute girl, right? So it's that kind of a repetition, which is a part of you. It's part of your beliefs, and it's always causing troubles for you. And that is something you will have to work out on a, I don't want to say spiritual level, but it is spiritual level, because it's kind of like adopting the vision that if you hope to be better, you have to change something about that belief. You got to do something about it, that it pretty much updates it to how you stand in your reality, whether within your career or whether within your relationship. And once you do so, this is what awaits you. Okay, it awaits you, either unfolding love, if we're talking about love, or it awaits you an ideal project or an ideal job, if we're talking about job. It awaits you a future that it has a long-term development. It isn't something that you can enjoy overnight. Once you do break through that outdated belief, that it is a life ahead of you. Okay, and the breakthrough of that belief is not going to be that bad. I mean, yeah, it's going to feel awkward at some points. Even it's going to feel like you aren't doing what you like to do. And I'm not saying that the whole process is going to be unpleasant, you breaking through that belief, but it's going to feel a bit unnatural. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is completely normal. You are replacing an outdated one with something that is going to serve you, something that is going to give you purpose for a moving forward. So for you, Virgo, it's time for new standards. It's time for a new belief. It's time for a new ideals. And as much as I hate to say it here, if we are talking truly about love, me as a person, I personally believe that love should sit on a trust and reliability. You may not love the person that you are dating at that point, but should you trust them, should you find them reliable, I believe that love is going to come with time. Well, that's not what these said, or what these are saying. They are saying that it's the opposite. The seeds of love falls first, and then on that seed, trust and reliability builds up, which is something I don't believe in. That's my personal opinion, but it is what the cards are saying, and so I'm obliged to tell it as well to you. So that's what your expectations can and according to these cards should be, Virgo. And hello, Melanie. Welcome to the stream. I hope you do enjoy your time here. Oops. I hate when the cards are new. They are so polished, so slippery. Libra. 9, that's the 9, yeah. 9 of Swords, first one. We do have the Ace of Pentacles. And you do the 3 of Wands. Those 3. And man, the topic, the collective. Full sweep tonight. Full sweep. Well, for us it stands with these cards, Libra. It's a bit too late to pull off. That is what you need to know. The foundations have already set. I don't know what these cards mean, all right? They should mean something to you. They pretty much point that the foundations are pretty much set, the patterns are pretty much established, and now you have to face the consequences of them, whether good or bad, all right? They don't have to be bad, they don't have to be good either. That's what, by the way, the Nine of Swords is all about. It's about, with the Three of Wands being next to it, this is a active friends elemental dignity, and it speaks about the consequences of what you are trying to build, right? And you need to know that you can't avoid those consequences, whether you like them or not. They are coming, right? It's happening, and you have to face them. Now, if you do have something to be afraid of, say you do have concern whether you are going to be fired from work, or whether your wife is going to ghost you, you know, according to these cards, your fears are in vain, right? Your fears are definitely in vain. That doesn't have to be because you're not gonna get fired, or your wife is not gonna ghost you, but because if you, for example, you get fired, you will find a better job in no time, right? Or at least, or the very least, the same job in no time. So you may ask then, well, what's the problem, right? That's the problem, and it's a bit of a big one. Okay, that's the problem here. Nine of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, active enemies. Pretty much what they show, it is these consequences are making the things a bit inconvenient for you. Whether those consequences are bad or a pleasant, they are going to make the things inconvenient for your family, for your work, for your day-to-day routine. Okay, maybe you're going to have many things at hands, and you can't find yourself juggling properly with them, all right? Or maybe these consequences are coming in inappropriate time. Whatever the case, it will be a bit inconvenient, no, a bit, a lot inconvenient, and therefore, even if those consequences are a results, they are rewards, okay, it doesn't look like that you will have the mood to enjoy them very well, and thus it's not going to feel harmonious, it's not going to feel success. That's why it's very important to kind of like set your mind, or rather like your mentality. Very important to do so. And your mentality should be that, you know, sometimes shit happens, okay? Sometimes you gotta just swallow it down and just, you know, move forward. Sometimes you gotta look into the big picture, and while the circumstances could be bitter, it all is for the better end. That's how you need to look at it. But rest assured, if nothing else, whatever fears you have, unless they are fears of furthering thy goal, all right? When I say furthering thy goal, like an opportunity that comes on its own, so that is the only valid fear you can have. Like, for example, if you are hoping that a job is gonna find you, you know, or the love is just gonna fall from the sky, that's not how it's gonna work out. You need to actively go for it, and this is why the collective is in full swipe here, because yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you gotta get your hands dirty. Okay, you gotta actually do something to help yourself. And that is the only, like I said, a valid fear. It's the opportunity is not gonna find you guys. The patterns that you are in are gonna help you get to it, but you gotta challenge yourself. And the challenging is coming from these two cards, okay? The Nine of Swords and the Three of Wands. And now that I think of these cards may be representing you being afraid to go for more. And that may be as well something you have to think about and work out, try to overcome. Bye, Ginger. All right, so that was for Libra. Now moving next, we do have Scorpio. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. With the Four of Wands. I mean, I knew it, but had they had to really shove it into my face? Well, the message is pretty simple for Scorpio. I mean, we're nearly done yet. Whatever we thought we are done, no, we aren't. It's a cruel way showing it to us, because, you know, I would have understood it if, for example, we had a cards here, say, you know, you have the Ace of Wands, first one, and the Death next to it. Then the message is as well, you are not done yet, but it says you get to try again, okay? You get to try anew. While these, well, they're pretty much speaking that you have so much potential in it, but it's kind of like you're missing something, and that's why you're not done yet. What am I missing then? Well, you gotta figure it yourself. Isn't that convenient? And it's how these cards are pretty much standing. It's a pretty cruel message, at least to me. Now, let me explain you. Look at these two, all right? So Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. They are a passive neutrals, and their message pretty much is that either you are not as smart as you think you are, you ain't as cool as you think you are, you ain't as fathomous as you think you are, you ain't as acceptable, or rather like as approachable as you may think you are. You ain't as a successful as you think you are, but you can be, all right? That's why you aren't done yet, because you do have a potential which is heretofore unexplored, whether a potential with someone you are dating right now, whether a potential with yourself, something you are doing, something you're trying to develop. Now, if I think of, maybe these cards are trying to tell me that I have potential as an astrologer because I am trying to get through that damn course for like the 10th time, and I just can't make myself do it. Okay, maybe I'll have to try anew. But the thing is that we do have potential. This is what we need to know. It's heretofore unexplored. We gotta find a way how to explore it, how to tap into it, how to develop it. And with the other card that we have as a Scorpio, the other elemental dignity, this is showing that we are missing something, and an important detail, which is pretty much, it's the key to everything. And the other thing that they may be showing it is that we are not putting that much work into it. Okay, we can definitely put more efforts. In fact, it's mandatory that we are to put more efforts. So think of it. If your dating isn't going on very well, you gotta put more efforts into it. Your job, well, guess what? You gotta work harder, right? Oh my God, I get jealous to people. Now I'm jealous to people that are working little and they are making a lot of money. But again, hey, we have to work harder, or we are doing something wrong. We're not going in the right way about it. Well, the only positive, or rather like the only pleasant, not positive, but the only pleasant thing that I can see in these cards for a Scorpio is that we can't really jeopardize anything we have. So pretty much our domain and comfort zone is safe and sound for whatever we are trying to do. So from here on out, we only can expand, okay? We only can add on top. But adding on top is going to be a struggle, a mighty effort, and also probably will require making ourselves vulnerable, passionately and as well emotionally vulnerable. And that's for Scorpio. I don't like the message, but it is what it is. So with that said, this concludes the second cluster, and now we are entering into the second break. One of you guys is going to get a free reading from me, and all you got to do in order to participate into the free reading giveaway is to input a question into the comments down below, and after in about 5 minutes I'm going to pick one of your questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question for a completely free here live on YouTube. Charlie, you are attracting only Capricorn? Huh. Well, I don't know if you should be lucky or not. My poison is Cancer, alright? My poison is Cancer. Sarah Lemieux, I don't either, but it doesn't look like we have a choice, alright? Just we don't have a choice. So, hey, Anna. What is ducking? Like crouching? Alright, so it's Sarah then instead of you. Interfering, alright. Wow. Then I'm doing something very wrong because it never goes well for me, alright? It never does. Well, Anna, you are never late or early. You are always on time. That's a bit creepy, creepy, Jessica. You sacrifice yourself? Yeah. Oh, that's a popular Scorpios, rich Scorpios as well. All right, so Jessica, it's only your question, so let's check it out. Are they going to stop interfering with my things? Let's check it out. I know too, because I'm independent. That's I'm pretty aware why things are not going on very well for me. With not just only with, probably it's not gonna be just only with Cancer. Now I think of Taurus. We are not gonna go very well with Taurus, I believe. Pisces as well. Oh my god. Probably I'm gonna go very well with Sagittarius now that I think of. And believe it or not, Capricorn as well. Jessica, those are the cards. Yeah, Mattia. Capricorn, I think that I can go very well with Capricorn. I never had one, right? But I think that I will go very well with them. So those are the cards, Jessica. Eventually, yes, but not now, right? It's not gonna be soon. That's what these cards are showing. For one or another reason, can I explain it? It's let's put it that way, it gives them pleasure to do it, okay? But eventually it's gonna stop. I don't know just when. Maybe in 6 months, maybe in 1 year, but it's not gonna be soon. Like I said, eventually they are gonna move to the next thing. Alright guys, couple of minutes and I'm gonna move to the next 4 star signs. Oh, the thing about Taurus is that they are very strict, right? I mean, they are organized. They want everything to be by the book, right? Also, they're very materialistic when it comes to relationship. They want security. I want freedom, right? I can't handle with that. Cancer, they are very emotionally demanding, and it's kind of like they always seek emotional support, and it's like you gotta suffuse them with I mean, there is nothing wrong suffusing them with love. It is just it has to be all the time, you know, and that's exhausting. Anna, thank you so much for your $20 US. Thank you, Anna. I assume you wish tarot draw, so let me know if you want, if you change your mind and you go for a Lenormand draw instead. Pisces, they are very dreamy, I believe. I listened for Pisces, but you know, I didn't put an effort to learn it. So I may be wrong here, but they are very dreamy, right? It's all about the bright side for them. So not very practical at all, and that's not who I am. Okay. But hey, Capricorn. I also didn't put an effort to learn about Capricorn, but for what I get, they address things in a more of a professional level. Okay, so that to me speaks reasonable. I like reasonable people. I can get along with reasonable people that listen to their common sense. Pisces Moonbeam can verify that or not. Not just only because she's Capricorn, but because she knows astrology. Yeah, but also Taurus is good because they like tangible things. You know, I mean, when you are in a relationship with Taurus, you definitely must have sex with them. I mean, that's a big part of the relationship with Taurus. I mean, they need to touch it. Okay, they just need to touch it. They need to have something that they can consume. Oh, that's true, Charlie, but that is that but they're doing that only when they don't have the emotional support they require. Okay, and that's the thing, that this requirement, it could be out of the chart. All right, this requirement could be unfathomably big. It could be a requirement that no one can actually fulfill. And when they are and that's another thing about Cancer. All right, Cancer needs to be significant and as well useful. Okay, so if you find yourself being in a relationship with a strong Cancer, the best way to go about that relationship is to allow that Cancer to take care of you. So you got to be actually not the weakling per se, but the one that it is, how can I put it into words? The one that it is cared for rather than the one that cares for. So when they ask, do you want to talk or do you need any help? And you push them away, that makes them very insecure. Well, I don't know, Mattia. I haven't put my efforts to learn Scorpio. Or I learned only the first four, which are a Aries, Taurus, a Gemini, and as well Cancer. Because when I learn something, I tend to try to understand it rather than to memorize it. So I take my time, okay? I really take my time with it. Oh, I bet there is more. I have it here. Let me read it for you, all right? Oh my God. So Taurus, that is only for a relationship astrology, all right? Taurus, they can be relied upon due to their stable nature, okay? They are practical and love-giving with a keen eye for beauty. So that means that they kind of like get themselves attracted to handsome and beautiful people, okay? So for them, the inner beauty counts for little to nothing for what I get from that. And this is a strong Tauruses. They are quite materialistic, which gives them the high sense over finances and love for a nature and pleasures in life. pleasures, meaning sex, drinks, partying, etc., etc. This materialism, however, could bring them, what is this? Could bring them a lack of the ability to change, which makes them too focused and stuck in their comfort zone. So they don't like change. Other negative characteristics of theirs are stubbornness, I already said that, an insatiable hunger for things. We're talking about material things. In relationship, they think of the consequences of their actions, which is a good thing, obviously. They are very sensitive to exterior influences, so they don't like third parties to mess around with their relationship. You marry for somebody and your mother is interfering with the relationship, that's no go, right? You are in trouble for that, and you are to be held accountable, right? So that's for Taurus pretty much. But I digress from the whole thing. All right, Sagittarius, a first one that is going to be the Tower. Moving on next, we do have the Eight of Cups. And we do have the Five of Pentacles. Well, actually, it's a great message. It is, isn't it? Yeah. But what I like about Taurus, and that is something I forgot right now, which I hate myself for it, but kind of like understanding the consequences of their actions. It's a big thing. That's a huge plus for me. And do you know why, guys? It is because when someone does that, when someone understands the consequences of their actions, it means the very least that when they decide, or like when they are to do something to hurt you, they will think twice about it. So they are not going to do it without any reason, just because they can, which is something that Cancer will do to manipulate you through their passive aggressiveness and emotional manipulation. Yeah, they can manipulate emotionally, Cancers, that is. So back to Sagittarius. It's actually a good message, and it's a message of that you, Sagittarius, you can rebuild. So that is something you need to know. And what it refers to, it refers to a recent failure, right? Something that you thought was extremely strong, but recently turned out that it is very fragile, and it actually broke. Whether that was your communications with somebody, whether it was your job, or it was a relationship with a client, or maybe a personal relationship, it broke. But yeah, you get to rebuild it from a scratch. But this time around, okay, you can rebuild it way more stronger than before. On another note, all right, these cards are saying of what you need to know. It is that you are about to become in a center, or in the eye of the storm, so to speak. So you will have to experience some unpleasant circumstances, whether within your career or whether within your relationship. By a definition, through the Tower card, you can't predict them. right? So these are going to be in the least expected place, manifesting through the least expected version. And they're going to throw you in a state of insecurities, to say the least. That is the moment where, you know, you just don't know what to do. You were never in such a position, and now you just have to kind of like act on a fly. You have to take a one thing at the time as things comes around. So needless to say, the next few days or a couple of weeks could be a bit stressful. All right, well, hell, they're going to be a bit havocy. All right, there will be havoc there. However, ultimately at the end, once you overcome all that, your tower will be built again. And the tower stands for, you know, everything you have built, whether within your career or within your relationship life. And this time around, you're going to build it a much stronger. So don't make any plans. It is what these cards are saying, because the universe has some plans for you. And whether you like it or not, it's pretty much going down, right? It's going down, and you will have to face it. And it will be best if we face it alone. That's another thing. Well, Leia, there is so much more to a person than just their star sign, okay? If they're doing it because they can, probably they have some other characteristics that I am unknown. I do not know about it. Capricorn, first one, it is the Queen of Pentacles. And it is the Emperor. And guess what, guys? Scorpio reading again, all right? But this time around, I mean, it is much more stronger with you. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, it's we have the Magician as the third one, and the Emperor as the second. These three cards. So yeah, Scorpio reading all over again. No break for the weekend. No way, no break for the weekend at all, Sarah. Jessica, thank you so much for your $6.99 Canadian. Thank you, Jessica. Make sure that you do stick around a little bit longer, where you're gonna get your personalized reading. All right, so you also are not done yet, okay? So you thought you were finished? No, and for you it's by even bigger margin than for Scorpio, right? Well, With you, the problem though, for what those cards are standing, is that, and the problem comes from these two, all right? Hold on a sec. From these two. And these two are saying the hope, or rather like a hope, that you may find better. Not at that point. Not at that point, at least according to these cards, right? The potential you have currently at hand, but you are not developing, it eclipses anything that, at least according to these cards, it eclipses anything that you may be, how can I put, you are maybe hoping for, right? Let's put it that way. And the other two cards that we do have here, okay. I don't know how to put it into words with these two cards. These two cards is the thriving appeal, right? It is just they are begging you guys, let it grow, all right? Just allow it to happen. I don't know how to put it into words. Stop trying to control it, or I don't know, you name it. And yeah, so let me rephrase here. If you are finding yourself, for example, working and you are considering changing your job, according to these cards, what you need to know is that you ain't finding better one anytime soon. Okay? Say you are in a relationship right now and you are thinking breaking up. Well, couple of things you need to know. It is that you can become more in that relationship, meaning that this relationship is yet to develop its full potential. And if you break up, be prepared to be single for a long time, because you ain't finding any better one, any better than this one, anytime soon. So the advice here, and you are displeased because you are trying to control it, or rather like you are trying to, how can I put it into words? Oh, that is how it happens. Instead of caressing it, you are squeezing it in an iron fist, and that's why it doesn't thrive, right? That's why it doesn't thrive. So I don't know, Capricorn, I don't know if you can do it. We gotta go with the flow. It's not even going with the flow, right? It's more like allowing the potential to grow. No, it's not let it flow naturally, Pisces Moonbeam. That's the thing. You have to help it as well, right? Because that is, again, like with Scorpio, it's a potential heretofore unexplored. So you have it there, you skipped it, or you denied it, and now you are trying to, how can I put it into words, that you are setting conditions behind it to happen, more or less, right? Or in other words, if it's gonna happen, it has to happen. You think that it has to happen based on your vision, but guess what? It has its own, all right, and you gotta allow its own to develop. So pretty much that's why I don't know how to describe these cards, so I will try to describe them with one word, and that is freedom. All right, give it freedom. Simple as that. And give it a try. Okay, just give it a try. Chandra, thank you so much for your $4.99 US dollars. Thank you, Chandra. Stick a little bit longer where you're gonna get your personalized reading for the transit, or rather, like, it's a personalized reading for what you need to know as of this moment. Well, it's not a loss yet. It's not a loss yet, Jessica, because it's still there. Okay, they can still have it. The Capricorn, they can still have it. Or how we Bulgarians like to say, the train haven't departed yet. I mean, you can still board it, right? It's there. How long though, I can't say. Oh God, I messed around my cards. Give me a moment, guys. Right. I don't know how long it's gonna be. It's gonna be very personal for every single Capricorn. You know, for some Capricorn, it's going to be like a couple of days. For others, maybe a couple of years. Who knows? Wow, Sarah, it's your choice. And Liz, hello. Aquarius. That is going to be the Wheel of Fortune here, followed by the second one, which stands as the, what is this? It's the Strength. And the third one, it's the Nine of Swords. Okay. So pretty strong message for Aquarius. These are the cards. And give me a couple of minutes, guys. Or rather, like, a moment here. Well, the message is on a few levels, okay? So I will start with a more spiritual one, so to speak. And it says that whatever, and I will say we because I am a rising Aquarius as well. So whatever instinct we have in terms of how we should behave in regards to one situation or another, one person or another, this instinct is correct. Okay, especially if it is an instinct for a self-preservation, it's dead on correct instinct. So if in the next couple of days we have to interact with somebody and we kind of like immediately we have that instinct that is a nefarious person, right? That is someone surreptitious, dishonest, disingenuous. it's dead on. That's one. Second thing it is that's next, what we need to know, and that's probably not something I should say, but according to these cards, as Aquarius, we get to walk away unscathed. Okay, so we are prone to dodge bullets in the next few days. Therefore, we could be a bit more courageous than usual. Another thing about these cards is that they are telling us that our presence, or rather like our actions, are gonna speak a much louder than words, which is different from, I forgot which star sign was, but their words would have speak more than their actions. And the last thing that we as Aquarius need to know is that as circumstances that are going to allow us to make a once in a lifetime change are about to come. That is how the Wheel of Fortune with the Strength card comes about. And because the Strength card is there, that gives us a little bit more to work with. So when these circumstances form, the change will seem very challenging, but in the same time it will feel very enthusiastic. So it will be something we are going to find ourselves being thrilled to be a part of, but the whole process will feel like that we have to climb Mount Everest. Okay, so it's going to be very demanding, exhausting, challenging, and we are going to be filled with those mixed feelings. Are we going to be able to handle it? What if, we give up? Or what if we fail? What if we kind of like cave under pressure? So all these kind of concerns are going to start dwelling in our mind. And under normal circumstances, those concerns would have been a bad thing. It kind of like keeps you thinking negatively, but not this time around. In fact, this time around, those concerns are going to make us prepare better, or rather like take a precautionary actions and measures, so we do avoid unnecessary troubles, so we do avoid a even unnecessary failure, if you want to say it that way. And finally, what those cards are showing here is that we are going to have a chance to unfold our passion. So if you are Aquarius, and if you are to have a sex in the next few days, you gotta know that is going to be yeah, it's going to be better than any other time before. Liz, thank you so much for your $5. Thank you, Liz. Make sure you stick around a little bit longer, where you're gonna get your personal reading at the end of the stream. Oh, you're welcome, guys. And last but not least, Pisces. Six of Pentacles for you guys. Then we have the Ace of Wands. Then we have the Eight of Wands. Those three cards. And I know that I don't have to say it, or that I just should not say it, but I will nonetheless, because that's what I do. That is the most underwhelming message from all of the 12. Because literally it says only one thing here, is that you are exactly where you are supposed to be and do whatever suits you best, which is pretty much how we all do, I believe, right? I don't know what else to tell you by the look of those cards, really. Because you may think that having the Ace of Wands there shows you new beginning. Not exactly. It's a neutral to the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles is the hierarchy. So yeah, there are gonna be chances, but they're not gonna be ideal. So there is always it will feel like it's more of a hassle than an opportunity overall. All right, it's gonna feel like it's not. I do apologize. It's not worth it because you are not gonna gain anything from it. Okay. But also, what do you need to know? And that's the biggest thing about your message here, Pisces, is that if you do want to get something right, you make sure you better do it yourself. Okay. Next few days or even few weeks, even if you can get help regarding your projects or regarding, say, renovating your home or with whatever, that help is just only going to kick down the can. All right, it's not going to actually solve it. At the end of the day, you gotta step in and do it yourself. What I am talking about here, let me give you that example. So say you are indebted, right? You have a debt, and someone tells you, all right, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna give you the money to pay your debt. That's great. You're gonna get money from that person and you're gonna pay your original debt, right? But what about you getting yourself indebted to the one that gave you the money? So it's kind of like postponing the issue, kicking down the can. Same thing it is, I don't know, within, well, I can't figure out an example within a relationship, but within career, it is like having trouble with a client of yours, and you have your colleague helping you, getting you on an extension, postponing the unpleasant meeting that you will have to have with your client. Well, it's not actually solving your problem. This meeting is happening whether you like it or not. You gotta get your hands dirty, guys. It's just you are delaying the inevitable. So pretty much, Pisces, next couple of weeks, guys, you can get a lot of things done, all right, which are within your hierarchy, because you are exactly where you need to be, but you got to do it yourself, guys. Better luck next time. Yeah, Seda. Actually, it's an underwhelming, but I like underwhelming messages, okay? Because the very least they show that, well, things cannot get wrong. You know, yeah, it's not anything exciting happening, but hey, we are not sinking either, right? So the very least you're gonna have a, can I put it into words, a peaceful experience. Alright guys, so that concludes the 12 star signs, and now the last free reading is going to be conducted. So should any of you wishes a free reading from me, you can input your question into the comments down below, and in about 5 minutes I'm going to pick one of your questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. Should there be no questions whatsoever, I'm going to move to super chat. So anyone who supported the stream and me through super chat is going to get a reading in after about, give or take, 10 minutes, right? And should you wish a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which you're going to find in the description down below. And there on the very front page, you will see full list of my services and as well their pricing. Well, I like Matthew McConaughey as an actor, right? As an actor, I love it. In fact, Pisces Moonbeam, that movie that you recommended me, The Lincoln Lawyer, right? It was really good one. Well, go ahead, Rob. Ask. I liked it, yeah, but like I told you, the show is better. The TV show is better, or I like the series are better. I like them more. It kind of has it has more mystery to them. Do you know what I don't like about the Lincoln Lawyer the movie? It's just in the first 30 minutes everything is uncovered. It's like you know the plot, right? You know who is the killer, you know who are the victims, you know how they did it, and everything. You pretty much know everything. So I don't like it. This is the only flop for me, literally. While we can agree to disagree, you know, different tastes, like we all agreed. Rob, that's Rob, if you wanna go to France, just buy a ticket, mate, and go there. I mean, locations are pretty much in travels are irrelevant for tarot. I never watched that movie, Jessica. Wow. Now that you mention Pisces Moonbeam, um, have any of you guys read The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan? It's a book series, something like, you know, if you like Lord of the Rings and if you like Game of Thrones and if you fuse them together, you get The Wheel of Time. So it's a best-selling fantasy ever. Okay, have any of you read it? Well, okay, so if none of you read it, strongly recommended it. But the TV show that they are making, I have only one word, and I'm so grateful that I know English, because in my language there is no word describing it. Luckily, in English there is, and the word is this show is an abomination. Okay, it's literally an abomination. It's so bad. It's so untrue. It took the story and it butchered it. It literally butchered it. All right. So will my connection to Taurus last the test of time? Karen asks. Let's check it out, Karen. Yeah, it is. It is. It's just it's so bad. You can, yeah, you can purchase the books, but I strongly recommend you to get the audio books. Karen, uh, those are the cards. Yes, it can, but there is a one very significant a very significant condition to it. Okay, and that is to actually two conditions. One is to stay independent from one another. Like, it doesn't mean that you don't have to be in any kind of relationship, whether a friendship or a romance, but you have to be independent. As soon as the life of the one consumes the other, okay, things are gonna start falling apart. And the other thing about these cards, it is that you have to respect each other. What I mean is that, say you do have you have one opinion, that Taurus has another opinion about something. I mean, you can agree to disagree with each other, all right? You don't have to like the opinions that you both have, but you need to respect them, right? You gotta respect the opinion of that Taurus, and they need to respect your opinion. And that way, there will be solidarity, compassion in between you two, and eventually, you know, a compromise will be found, where the compromise is going to satisfy both of you. And that is where, you know, there will be an independence, okay, in opinion, and as well independence in, how can I put it into words? In a way, how you interact with the world. But yes, it can stay the test of time. All right, guys, couple of minutes, and I'm moving to the super chat readings. Taco, just in time. I am at the super chat, about to start actually. Lenormand readings are going to be at the end of the super chat, guys. You're welcome, Karen. All right, Sarah, what do you need to know, girl? You do have the star card. And with this card, what do you need to know? It is that, well, your problems are gonna start falling apart. Okay, I mean, how can I put it into words? Well, let's say it that way. Um, Whatever turmoil you went recently, it's pretty much over, or it is nigh, and very soon you are gonna enter in an era turmoil free. So within this new era, you get to think about what ideals you do have, whether career-wise or whether relationship-wise, and fulfill those ideas. What is important is to have a fulcrum, right? Something to look forward to, something to move toward. That's pretty much what the card shows. But the most important and tangible things is to know that soon your problems are going to be resolved. Star Kid, I can't change my, well, I can change my appearance, but I don't want to. Charlie, your card, mate. We do have the Eight of Wands, right? So with Eight of Wands, you can expect the upcoming days to be quite dynamic, and it's not like many things are gonna move around, but kind of like a new stuff are gonna start popping up. All right. It's important though that you do not throw yourself in the first thing you see. Good night, Pisces Moonbeam. Oh, you're welcome, Starkate. Hold on a second, guys. All right. So yeah, there are going to be many stuff that are adding up, like many stuff, different activities, so to speak. And like I said, it's important that you do choose carefully which activity to become a part of, because some of them simply are not going to be accustomed to you, or you're not going to be accustomed to them, and that way you're just risking things, all right? And you don't want to do that. All right, Karen, we do have the Queen of Cups, Karen. Queen of Cups is what do you need to know? As I know that you are going through some medical issues, Queen of Cups could be associated with a healing or a healer, right? But what do you need to know? It is that a couple of things. First of all, it is that if you have a secret that you have shared, your secret is sound and safe. And another thing that you need to know is that your emotional state is going to be taken care of, in a sense of that, how can I put it into words? Your emotions are going to be very, very stable. And as well, what you need to know is what you are working on right now, whether in career, whether in love, whether in you know, anything that you do work on right now. It will be, how can I put it into words? It will stabilize it, and it will stabilize you as well. Taco, about the email, man. Those two cards. Well, according to these cards, Taco, your father will misinterpret certain stuff. So the email itself doesn't have to be changed, but maybe you need to add some explanatories out there, or you do follow it up if your father has any questions to it. Okay, so the way how I would approach it is if I leave it open. Like, for example, you end up with the sentence, if you have any questions, just don't hesitate to call me. Okay, so something like that, something of these lines, because it will definitely make your father think about it, but it's not going to be as clear to tip the scales just from the email itself. All right, Anna, your card is the Knight of Cups with the Page of Wands, with the Seven of Swords. Those three cards for you, Anna. So what do you need to know? It is that you do have everything you need, okay, to find yourself being happy, and not just only that, but to start building up what makes you happy, whether career-wise or whether relationship-wise. You literally don't need anything new, right? And even if I have to go by the court cards, they strongly speak about a suitor that you already know, right? You already know, and that person definitely can make you happy. But also, these cards are speaking about, how can I put it into words? What do you need to know? It is that it comes from these two cards, and give me just a second to think about how to deliver that message. It comes from these two. Just they speak that things doesn't have to be that tense anymore. Okay, you don't have to constantly fight to the utter limits, right? It's just losing the stagnation around you. It is that what's gonna start happening here. And not to mention that with these two cards, you may find that people are not that, how can I put it into words, against you, if you are finding it like that currently. Karen, thank you so much for another 333 33 US dollars for a robe. All right, Jessica, your card is the Seven of Cups. And what do you need to know, Jessica? It is that your ultimate hopes and dreams, for according to these cards, they are accomplishable, but you gotta slow down the pace at that very moment, and you have to become more you have to become more grounded, you have to become more objective, you gotta become more, so to speak, logical. Otherwise, you do risk to disappoint yourself a lot, seeing that things are not gonna work out the way you want them to work out. However, also this card carries on a message that at this stage, the very least, you are entitled to second chances as well. Chandra, your card, that will be the Five of Cups. It's a pretty clear message to you, Chandra, and it pretty much means that whatever you chose recently, no matter what currently happens, you should not abandon it, all right? You should not deviate from whatever path or decision you made, from whatever path you chose, decision you made. Whatever it is inconvenient right now or you are feeling disappointed about, it's temporary, not a permanent thing. All right, Liz, your card, 10 of Cups. Okay. And what you need to know it is that, Liz, your life, either all of a suddenly or through a slow progression, is going to start or increase its worth into the upcoming days. Liz, you are gonna be happy. Okay, that is what you need to know. And whatever concerns you have, they will simply stop having an influence on you, at least for the time being. With that card, you are gonna look around, count your blessings, and you will freaking love what you are seeing. And finally, we do have Rob with the tarot. Then we're moving to the Lenormand draw. Rob, your card is the 10 of Wands. Okay. And with this card, what do you need to know, Rob? It is that, how can I put it into words? You don't get to cut any corners, okay? You don't get to pick up the easy way around. There is a conditions, so to speak, and there are rules or stipulations that you gotta kind of like fit in. And let's say you have signed up and you gotta obey the contract you signed up. That is figuratively speaking. But what you need to know is that, yeah, it may feel overwhelming right now. It may feel too much to be desired from, but it will reward you, or it's gonna bring to you an amazing reward. So if the person you are dating right now is demanding, or the job you signed for it's difficult, you know, or the person that you are entitled to, it's very hard to be pleased, well, yeah, it's a difficult time right now, but it will worth it at the end. That is what you need to know. All right, so that concludes the tarot draw, and now moving on, we do have the Lenormand draw. The first one is going to be me. So let's check on what these cards are going to show up for me. So those are the cards for me, and it seems that I do have a traitor around me, all right? So you're welcome, Rob. So yeah, not exactly traitor, but someone that wanna do me harm is gonna show up, is gonna be revealed, okay? It's gonna put himself or herself under the spotlight, and I'm gonna see who they are. That's a good thing, I guess. At least it's not gonna stab me in my back. Right, next one is gonna be Mattia. Let's check on what the cards has in store for you. Yeah, they could be related to a job as well, Anna. Like I said, with your cards, you do have everything you need to make yourself happy, especially job-wise. All right, Mattia. That's really, really nice. Okay, that is a it's these four cards, Mattia, and they speak about a successful, finding a way to be successful in delivering something. Okay, I don't know what is going to be. To me, it's more about being successful yourself. Okay, but if you have to deliver some kind of a message, you will find a way to deliver it very, very successfully. In other words, to get what you need from it. Okay, that's the first thing. And the second thing, those three cards. And truth be told, I don't know what to make of them. It's about a letter or an invitation, email maybe, is gonna concern your personality, okay? And pretty much is going to be the end of it. I don't know what to make of that. So maybe the final of the such email or correspondency, okay? Or an invitation because, you know, you made a final representation of yourself, something like that. But it's going to concern your family, okay? That's one thing certain, is going to concern your family. All right, next one, that is going to be Veronica. Thank you, Mattia. See you soon. All right, Mattia. No, Mattia, but Veronica. Those cards here, they will concern your family, okay? And it will be an argument. So that is how it comes. This is gonna be an argument coming from nowhere. Probably is gonna blindside you about, you know, how firm your family is. I don't know what kind of I believe, you know, the direct family, but it could be as well the bloodline family also. So it concerns your family, and like I said, it will be an argument there that's regards to the stability of it in general. Huh. This one is this. And it shows that someone that you work with, probably someone new that you're gonna work with, He's going to prove himself to be very reliable and taking care and caring as well. So that person is going to take care of you. And the third event of yours, these cards, okay, so they can speak for 3 events. All right, I don't know which one of them is going to be true. They can be 3 events. First event, it is that is the most global one, and it is that you are going to find a way how to be successful on multiple fronts. Okay, small successes but many successes. All right. The second event is that you may end up pregnant. Okay, and the third event that may happen is that if you have a child, and if you have a child, that is definitely the one that is going to happen. All right, if you have a child, Veronica, your child is going to find something to be successful with. Okay, whether your child may find out that it's a good singer and become successful being a singer, or it's a good soccer player and become successful being a soccer player, right? So your child is going to find, or if you do have a child, that is going to find what your child can be successful with. All right, Jessica, let's check on your Lenormand draw. Oh, all right, Jessica. We definitely have a traitor here. Okay, we have a betrayer, and you are gonna cut him. You are gonna catch him, or catch her, and that's someone that you do have quite of a history with. All right, that's not someone that it is very irrelevant to you. It's just, you know, a person that will, I don't want to say it's gonna devastate you. I don't think it's no, it's not emotionally. They're going to attack your personality, okay, what you are in general. So yeah, it's just that is gonna be someone who's definitely gonna blindside you. And the next one, it's these 3, okay, these 3 cards. That is we call it a favor of a bear, right? We call it a favor of a bear when someone is acting nice and kind of like helps you here and there, but after that they're holding you accountable for it. That will concern either your home that you are in or your domain. So be careful when your neighbor, for example, is too nice and helping you. They will ask the favor in return. Or if a parent of yours, which is the most likely version, kind of like buy you something or helps you with renovating your home, especially if you are right now finding yourself renovating your home, that's also going to be the case. God forbid you are trying to buy a house and, you know, a parent of yours saying, you know what, go big, I'm gonna help you with half of the money. Well, what they're not telling you, it is that way they will own half of the property, all right, and they will hold you accountable to it. So be very careful whom you are trusting, you know, to take care of you or to help you, because especially when it comes to your house, your home, your domain, because they will hold you accountable to it. Bye, Bye, Veronica. And oh, Sherry, thank you for your 1111 US dollars. Thank you, Sherry. I believe you do want a tarot draw. Let me shuffle for you then. Hold on a second, guys. And Sean, thank you so much for your 10 US dollars. Thank you, Sean. Right, so Sherry, your card, Sherry, it's the Four of Swords with the Seven of Wands here, right? So what do you need to know, Sherry, is that now is a perfect time for you to stand your ground. And if you don't have anything or anybody to stand your ground against, well, you gotta think again, right? Because with the Seven of Wands there, this card operates through, how can I put it into words, surreptitious influence, okay? So there is someone that it is saying something about you that you are brushing it off, swiping it under the rug, thinking that it isn't a big deal. It is a big deal, okay? And you gotta address that. My point is that you gotta address every single dispute of authority that it is going your way. And another thing about these cards, it is that before you decide to act, that is as well something you need to know, is that before you decide to do something, okay, you better think it twice and consult yourself as well. It's a great period of time as well. What do you need to know? It's a great period of time for you to take care for your health, like building up a diet, establishing a workout routine, and so on and so forth. But also you will have a very sharp sense to grasp the moment. It is like you will have that sense to know when and where and how to act. Very important to follow that sense as well. And also you will have resilience. You will be able to resist temptations and taunts as well. Sean, your card, it is the Eight of Swords with the Page of Cups. Those two cards. Well, Sean, according to these cards, what you need to know is that you don't have to change, mate. All right, you do possess already the necessary qualities, quirks, abilities to go big, literally to go big. The thing that it is stopping you, it is yourself. Whether you do not believe in yourself or you do have some kind of a rules which are obstructing you. So if you are feeling stuck, that is because you are not allowing yourself to move forward. It isn't because of the circumstances, for example. And also what you need to know, it is that the way you know stuff around, they are exactly as they look like. Okay, and if you are trying to convince yourself other way around, then you are not free. For if the truth makes you free, mate, then ask yourself what the denial of it makes you. But definitely changing your positions, your opinion, or rather like a how can I put it into words, trying to make a reassessment of the situation isn't gonna help out at all. Making a self-assessment, kind of like crucial self-assessment, that's what's gonna help you. So you do, what you need to know is that you do have humongous potential. It is just, you have to lift down the limitations that it is holding back that potential, which are a self-imposed limitations. So with that said, guys, this is going to conclude it. Thank you so much for participating. And we're going to see each other very, very soon for the weekly reading. And with that said, bye.